What's going on? How y'all doing today? My first video gonna be about Bill Cosby, first prison interview, and he basically sticking to his guns. And I gotta give it to him. He's not showing no remorse, and he says it's a setup. And so I will say this: yes, his actions and admitting to the drugs and the drinks were wrong, and yes, he went a bit farther in some of the situations. However, was it criminal to really get a case after stuff that's gone on and where there was really nothing that really merited that? Because it looks like a money grab all around with all these women taking the loot. No one was really running to 50 or to stations and saying, hey, we know this and that and the other. And it does look very shady. He said he gonna do his 10-year bid. He said I go to parole, do my bid and roll. And I think he's set in his mind that, you know what? They setting me up. I am a conspiracy theorist, and I always think that America's out to get somebody black. I always will, because well, history speaks for itself. I mean, I don't sugarcoat it. And in his case, he was gonna buy NBC with some money. He had been doing stuff. See, the problem I had with this, and I've said this, I'm gonna say this real. Black people with money, when it comes to legalities, this is close as you get to a fair treatment in America if you're older, if you can fight it off and balance it. Because other parts of your life are injustice and bias and hateful. But when you've got something to back you to cover it, that's the only time you kind of sort of can say that we're part of this country with a balance. And so he bought himself a lot of time with situations, and if everything you believe. So why they go after him in his 80s? Because he couldn't make them no more money. And see, that's like the mafia. It's like you could have gone after him in his 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s. But now you wait till he's older and see now, he can't see, etc. Now you're like, okay, we're gonna make a big splash. That's what the message always is. Go after you when you can't bring us in no new money, or we can get someone else like you. You know, even though there won't be another Bill Cosby, white or black. He was a one of a kind comedian, one of the greatest ever. And no, I'm not going to stop giving him his due as one of the greats. Because people, especially white America, like to cast you off and ignore your accomplishments and ostracize you. Bump that. He's great. Fat Album the Game meant too much to me growing up. All the moves with him and Sidney Poitier meant too much. And he donated a lot to black colleges. Anybody giving back no money? I ain't seen nobody say, well, okay, we're going to give back his money. No. Cosby showed one of the greatest of all. Like, you can have two things can be right at the same time. He has to pay and deal with what he did. However, I'm not going to forget his accomplishments. But however, I do agree with what he did say. It does seem like a setup. It seems like there's more to it to make an example out of him. And America does do that to black folks. Especially the black man in position, or you get a little bit of position when you really don't, because there's just too much politics involved. And I'm not buying a Hannibal Burris was just on stage and happened to say what he said in 2014. All of a sudden, the light bulb went off and said, "Oh yeah, let's go." No, they were after him because he out. If we talk real talk, black talk, he upset somebody white, and then they finally said, "Let's close the gates on him," just like with R. Kelly situation. That's all it is. This ain't about no justice or nothing like that. Because if you really had some stuff on somebody, you ain't gonna wait and all of a sudden like, okay, let's go get him. And so he should be free. He should have paid some debt to society, obviously. But really, what are you trying to do with Bill Cosby? Make an example out of him. And if it was there all along, why now? So I don't blame him for sticking to his guns and not showing no remorse, because it's like, yo, yeah, you just ain't gonna come after me and mess with me. So it's a double-edged sword there. It's a real dicey call. But anyway, give me your thoughts and takes about Bill Cosby showing no remorse and sticking to his guns and his feelings. Hit the like and subscribe, and the bell rings. A new video. I'm out. Peace.